Okay, I just want to give you some feedback and my ideas around this case because certainly there's a lot of different ideas out there, and all of you have come up with these in certain ways, but I'd like to put it together for you. First, it is difficult to fault the counselor's informed consent procedures in the outset in this case. It certainly appears that the counselor addressed issues of informed consent really thoroughly. She provided both the minor client and the mother with a written document. She verbally reviewed the document with them. She asked them to verify that they understood, and then she gave them a copy to take home. And so these procedures are very thorough and consistent with ACA Code of Ethics Standard A2A. The counselor did explain limitations of confidentiality to them, and that's required by standards A2B and B2A. She told the client and the mother that she would need to breach confidentiality if she suspected potential harm to self or others. It does not appear that she specifically discussed the example of statutory rape. However, I will say that it is not feasible, nor is it possible, for counselors to discuss every potential specific instance that would require the counselor to breach confidentiality. It's just not possible. Informed consent, of course, is complex, and that's something that's been talked about in many of the discussion threads, and it becomes more complex when clients are minors. The Code of Ethics states that when we work with minors, counselors seek the assent of clients and include them in the decision-making process as appropriate. There is a delicate balance certainly between minor clients' rights to confidentiality and their parents' rights to be informed. This is addressed in Standard A2D, but I would say that the balancing act between the rights of the client and the rights of the parent will vary some depending on the age of the minor client. Certainly the client in this case is 15 and she is an adolescent or a teenager. If she were, say, 10 or 11, I think it would be a lot easier to make a decision here and certainly go ahead and inform the mother of the disclosure about potentially having sex with a boyfriend. With a 15, 16-year-old, a little bit different. So the reason then is that as the counselor for this teenager, we may have several conflicting therapeutic goals. We'll want to preserve the therapeutic relationship so that the issue of becoming sexually active is something that we can explore further with the client. Meeting this goal of being able to discuss this more with the client might not be possible if the counselor insists on involving the mother at this time. Now, if the mother is informed against the client's wishes, there's a very good chance that the counseling relationship would be irreparably damaged. And at the same time, however, the counselor does need to protect the minor client from any potential harm that could happen should she enter into a sexual relationship with an adult male. So, it's a balancing, what to do. From a legal standpoint, the counselor could also be putting herself at risk if she keeps the client's confidence. There could be repercussions if the mother were to later discover that her daughter had been having sex with a boyfriend and she had told her counselor up front that she was considering doing so. So it's really important that we as the counselor, or the counselor in this case, carefully consider the therapeutic, ethical, and legal ramifications of any decision that she makes. The risk of harm does not appear to be immediate with this client, and perhaps the counselor's best course of action is to postpone, for now, her decision about informing the mother. That would give the counselor an opportunity to continue to explore with the client a range of issues involved in having a dating and potentially sexual relationship with an 18-year-old boyfriend. I think the best solution, in my humble opinion, would be for the minor client to come to her own decision to tell her mother about her relationship with John, the 18-year-old. The counselor certainly could facilitate this outcome by securing the client's permission to include the mother in some upcoming sessions, and maybe resolving the larger relationship issues and communication problems between the mother and daughter would open the door for the daughter to reveal her relationship with her boyfriend. The counselor can also find support for proceeding this way from ACA and the Code of Ethics, which advises counselors to enlist the support, involvement, and understanding of others in the client's world, including family members when appropriate and with client consent. The Code also urges counselors to work to establish a collaborative relationship with parents and guardians to best serve the clients. I hope this helps clear up a little bit. This certainly is not a clear-cut case in terms of how to proceed. Sometimes our own morals come into play here in terms of what we think. Sometimes our own roles for some of us as parents come into play, and we need to make sure that the decisions that we do make are in the best interest of our clients and in our clients' therapeutic goals. Hope this helps.